this thing about the quantified self, right? We have, we know our patients, we know ourselves through the blood, but Christopher, IQ Chef, can we know anything more?
We definitely can, and that's the fantastic thing with data, right? With data we can know a lot of stuffs, and you can see that we see it in three perspectives. It's the effective everyday life perspective, and it's also the health perspective, of course, but also the production perspective. So basically with data, and as we work a lot with machine learning and AI, we can help people to get rid of the boring Wednesday afternoon going to the store and shop, but also to help people to eat more healthy, because it's a hassle to know what to eat, especially if you have some health issue in some kind. But also in the long run to produce the right retail goods for the store.
Because what you have a system, an IQ Chef, that really can enable you to take smarter decisions regarding what food to eat, based on a bunch of things, everything from what you like to how you feel or measurements and stuff like that, right? So and I mean, of course, Will, you're providing us with the raw data of our bodies in order to understand this a little bit more. And Katja, of course, with great design and great help and software to help people choose better. Then the question is, do we know enough about the food? We know so much other things, about our bloods and ourselves, etc. But do we know enough about the food to make a really efficient system out of this?
I would say that this is with the food as well. We do know quite a lot about food, but we are not necessarily experts on how the food affects our bodies. So basically, if we start talking about personalization and individualization, our bodies treat food in different ways. Like I said, I have a technology background. I love coding. I love data. I was into machines. I didn't care about health, nutrition, or people at all until my youngest son was born. And he got sick from the food that I ate. So actually, we took my diet down into 10 different ingredients at its worst. And at that point, I got interested in nutrition. It's funny how the genes go. I mean, like my son seemed to have a kind of he has a couple of allergies from different places, and his body, for example, cannot handle banana at all. So basically, even though we know that banana has really good qualities,
my body can't handle banana either.
Oh,
so
we have to talk. We have to talk. I can tell all the stories about it. So as a mom, I tried to feed him banana because it's easy and you can take it with him, and that's another story. But I think that we do know a lot about nutrition. We do know a lot about food, but how it reacts with our body, that's something different. So I love what you guys do, and I've been talking that whenever we know your nutrition needs, whenever we have sensors that you actually eat and they are in your stomach or in your body measuring you and telling that this is what you need, and kind of finding out that how your body reacts to this specific nutrition.
Okay, but that's also one of the reasons, I guess, for when you started Wear Labs, to know more about ourselves and to understand more how your body is affected when you put stuff into it, right? And so would you say is food, because we still talk about food in general terms, right? We should eat the Mediterranean diet. What do you say, Will? Is that shit?
That's a big question. I think of food more, you have to become slightly unemotional around it when you think about it. And I think we're starting to understand the molecular underpinnings of the effect of food on our physiology. And then, saying the Mediterranean diet could mean 1,000 different things to people. And
we are 1,000 different people who probably would need 1,000 different varieties of the Mediterranean diet as well, right?
So I think there are some things that a bit more granular around that. So, for example, you've got the glucometer now.
Yep.
And you could take that. There seems to be enough evidence to infer that you probably want to not have too much insulin lying around all the time, and you probably don't want these spikes and dips in your blood glucose. And for different individuals, that'll be different foods that do that, as you found out yourself.
Yep.
So I think that's the kind of granularity that we need to be talking about, rather than kind of the Mediterranean diet or...
Okay, exactly. So that type of granularity, you say we shouldn't be so emotional about food, or you should be more like, no, what do we really need, rather than how can this, seeing the effects on what the food you like affects your body. It's like we don't want to have chips or sushi if it affects us in a bad way, right?
So I think, so since you've got the results, has that actually changed the way that you view any of the foods that you eat?
Oh, sushi, for instance, sushi, never more sushi. That's truly. That was such a horrible discovery when you see the raw data on how it affects you. So it's like, I'm off. It's like becoming sober in a day, something like that. Thank God, red wine doesn't affect you, so at least not me. So.
And from that perspective, it's interesting. If you know, for example, that you can't eat sushi, we need to analyze the ingredients and match them with other ingredients to see what kind of other food and what other kind of dishes is something that you can't eat, for example. And it's the same with taste, right? It's possible to analyze taste with smart technology also regarding food. So yeah, I believe, the combination with a blood test and a machine learning system can do really good stuff here.
Okay. No, but when you take a look at things like machine learning, as you mentioned also, other types of ingredients. So I shouldn't eat sushi, and then I probably shouldn't eat, I don't know, poke. I probably shouldn't eat a lot of other things that contain white rice because it metabolizes badly in my body, apparently. Whereas other people can absolutely do that. So Christopher, would you say when you work with this notion of individualizing foods and recommending things to eat to people, how far do you think we'll get in a few years from now? Will we all have our individual diets based on knowledge of food and the individual?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the way it's gonna go, because we have the technology and we have the data. It's just about to combine the data with the technology, and that makes it possible. For example, we can see there is already pilots doing in the study. If we look at the retail system, where for example, Amazon send goods to people before they actually have decided what to eat, because they know what kind of groceries they want. And if we can combine a health perspective to that also, we don't need to think about what to eat because some other people know it, and we can save a lot of time and also stay healthy.
So food will become an infrastructure, benevolent infrastructure around us that will help us to eat what we should eat at the time.
Yeah, I believe so. And then of course, when you have lots of time and you want to go and see your Friday steak in the store, there will be a possibility to do that, but you will choose by yourself when you want to do it.
You agree, Katja?
Sorry?
You agree? Will food be an infrastructure that's benevolent and around us?
Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, I do believe in the individualized plans. The time span, I don't know. I have no idea. So hopefully as soon as possible.
Hopefully as soon as
yeah,
possible.
because I strongly believe that we react to different foods in different ways. So I think that to be able to, and our bodies can extract different things from. So yeah.
Individual. So another question. This is $1 million question, of course, in order to wrap up this panel. This implies in some sort of one corner we have science, which is the quantified self and the quantified food. Other corner we have culture and habits. So right now it seems like culture and habits prevail still, but when will science be more important than culture when we eat?
It's already happening.
It's already happening.
So the NHS, the National Health Service, the big health service in the UK, the guy that won the NHS Innovator of the Year award last year was a doctor in the north of England that was prescribing diets for early stage type 2 diabetics and saving thousands of pounds for his practice. And this is being rolled out. So already
it's already here.
It's already happening.
Okay. You agree too?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Definitely. Everything that we talk about will take time, but it's also up to us consumers to be a part of it and try it out and like it. So
Okay. Science will win over culture?
Well, I'm a rebellious over here, so I think that science will enable us to know what to eat better, but I think that the culture will have a great effect on it as well. So I think it's a coexisting
It's a
relationship.
coexistence. Okay, lovely. Okay, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks.